I've seen it.
I read, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Welcome. We're going to call the meeting to order, March 9th, board meeting.
Mrs. Berger, Mr. Burns,
Here.
Mr. Hood,
Yes.
Mrs. Slate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Recognition of guests. First up, we have the 3Ps award for the month of March. She's already received the award. She gets it. They usually give it about a week ahead of time, but Rachel Smith has been selected, nominated and selected based on her positivity, among other things. But the nomination was received from Dawn Norris, and I'll read that. I usually read that for every time someone's nominated and gets the award. Rachel has a very demanding job running the cafeteria, but she always has a smile on her face, and she doesn't let the stress get her down. She's always looking for ways to help the staff and students, such as planning the large Thanksgiving meal and even providing Thanksgiving box lunches for those who were on a field trip that day and missed the great meal. Rachel has gone out of her way to help me personally with the Veterans Day Assembly. She has a heart for veterans like I do, and she has helped make connections with veterans who are interested in sharing their stories at the Veterans Assemblies in the past few years. This year in particular, she helped make connections with both Amy McGrath and the Patriots Landing. Rachel knew that Amy would do a great job encouraging the high school students, especially the young ladies, to be the best they can be and dream as big as anything possible if you believe in yourself. Rachel cares about all the students, and it shows. Her positive energy and outlook is contagious. She is a great asset to Beechwood. So, congratulations. She's excited about that.
I can tell she jumped right up.
I didn't want to go shoot though.
Oh.
This way, Rachel.
I'll go, oh.
Red and white shirt.
Yeah, white shirt. Congrats.
Congratulations.
That's apparently.
I know, right? Whenever we have quesadillas, that's the soup.
I know. Apparently it's a thing.
Yeah.
Just a few words on Rachel, just about everything. I mean, just the work she puts into the kitchen. She leads a great group of ladies that work hard every day. It's a lot. You got 1,600 kiddos roughly. A lot of meals scratch, a lot of things homemade. We're one of those few school districts in the state that don't adhere to the federal school lunch program because we're not in that. And so for her to put the best food forward, our kids buy it up and eat it up, probably at the disdain of their parents' pocketbooks because I get my monthly reminders of how much George Kaiser is. But that means they're eating a ton of food. Willingness to think outside the box in regards to food, try new things, order different types of things that the kids might like. Even the recent partnership with Little Flower of having them have some of their cookies in here, those have been very popular. Just across the board, always looking to innovate, but more importantly, leading within that kitchen to lead that group of ladies to produce every day for kids, because it can be hard. So much appreciated, and thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any public comment?
No.
No. Okay. Moving on to the discussion and action agenda. Well, first is the amend the policy to, the visitors to school policy. Take a motion to approve to amend the policy 10.5, which is the visitors to the school.
I'll make the motion to approve to amend the policy 10.5.
I'll second
Is there any discussion?
Second read
Yeah.
for visitors
Right, it
who join virtually,
One more
but they notify of recording. So it's a second read on that.
Mrs. Berger? Yes. Mr. Burns?
it. Yes.
Mr. Hood?
Yes.
Mrs. Slate?
Yes. Okay. B, the allocation guidelines for the 2026-27 implementation policy 0.24331. I think I might need my glasses. And I can take a motion to approve the allocation guidelines for 2026 school year.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
I know we discussed this.
Yeah, these are just the
Anything else?
guidelines that dictate how we set allocations for each building for the high school, the elementary and guardian angel. This is the board approving the way in which we would create those, or the formulas that determine the numbers that dictate the amount of staff per position.
Mrs. Berger?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Hood?
Yes.
Mrs. Slate?
Yes. Okay. Moving on to the playground equipment. We discussed this many times too, so we're finally settling. Take a motion to approve the bid from Miracle
I'll make the
for
motion.
the new playground equipment and installation.
I'll second.
All right, do we have any other discussion? We've kind of talked about this a lot. We've got
3
all the-
quotes.
all the quotes and.
The last one was really high, right, compared to where we're
It
at?
was kind of like a middle person,
Okay.
yeah.
So it just seems like they're going up the more we get.
Yeah, that last one didn't seem like I wanted to be in the play.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
So, of the 3, Miracle, in regards to helping us plan and prep. The second one that came in, we're able to reduce cost to get to Miracle with removing some of the items. So, Miracle was a solid choice for this.
In the last round of renderings we got is the new price, right, with the removals?
Yes.
Okay.
Which playground equipment is expensive.
Yep.
The work that went into doing the research from Campbell County to even Fort Mitchell, city of Fort Mitchell, to a variety of other schools in regards to how much, down to checking in Oldham County. It is costly, and it does cost a lot of money to purchase new playground equipment and that surfacing that goes with it. The space being expanded a little bit allows our kids more space, but with an investment like that, kids use it every single day. And we know our teachers and our kiddos will be happy, and I know Friday nights will have some fun in there too. But this is a space that's going to be utilized by our community, our kiddos, so I think it's a really great investment.
You ready? Mrs. Berger?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Hood?
Yes.
Mrs. Slate?
Yeah. Okay, moving on to D, the RFP for the minivans. We take a motion to approve the Hague Ford offer for 2 minivans and trade in the value of our current vans.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any questions on the minivans? We had Hague Ford and Cary Nissan. Hague offered a good trade-in value with 2 used minivans. Cary Nissan offered a decent trade-in value with 2 new minivans. Both came with good warranties. The total cost on Hague was about $20,000 less than the Cary Nissan. And the Nissan wasn't going to be able to afford us the vans for 3 months. We need those vans now. We needed them weeks ago when we weren't allowed to use our transit vans. So
That's a better conversation to have. But
yeah, the speed in which we were able to get the minivans plus the cost, it was a good call to go with Hague Ford.
They're over in the property, aren't they?
Hmm.
Are they over here?
No, minivans?
Oh, minivan out this morning.
We have a handicap minivan,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, this would be 2 additional instead of our 2 Sprinter vans that we would trade in.
So what do we think? We'll,
Hopefully within the next week,
okay.
we'll go with them. We'll let them know tomorrow morning, and hopefully they have them. And we'll get them here within a week, maybe sooner.
You ready? Mrs. Berger?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Hood?
Yes.
Mrs. Slate?
Yes. All right, so moving on to the consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All right. A lot of minutes and you
Minutes.
want to discuss
Yeah.
in general?
If I go down, use of facility as normal, field trips as normal. The CATS offer,
Mhm.
that's, we match that and we use that to help us with offset the cost on like teacher desktops, teacher laptops, so we were able to use that money for that. You see the Thomas More dual credit, let's just re-upping it for another year. We have teachers here that do dual credit through Thomas More. We have kids that go over on site or take the Thomas More dual credit online. Reimbursements, Frankfurt, I'll be able to talk about my trip to Frankfurt in the superintendent's report. And KSBA, I'll talk a little bit about the superintendent's report. But no, pretty straightforward.
No discussion?
Mrs. Berger?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Hood?
Yes.
Mrs. Slate?
Yes. All right. Information portion, superintendent's report.
Okay, we'll start with Christy. You want to come on up and do finance?
So the financials through February, we're moving along according to budget. You know, our revenue is right where we expected it based on the tax increase and what we collect. Also, expenses are right along according to either at aligned with budget or under budget, except for snow removal. This year we've had a lot of snow and cold weather, so that is the only line. It's a little bit over, but it's not unreasonable, so we can manage it.
One of the big costs was we had to rent a Bobcat for several weeks to, once the snow gets to a certain point, our shovels don't push it. So you have to get the Bobcat to lift it and you could have seen some of the mounds that were out
Mountains
here.
up
So
there, yeah.
to be able to get that snow up and above and on top of the mound, that Bobcat we rent, I think Art's rental,
Arts room,
So,
that's where we rent it from.
which
Yeah,
was a cost.
so it just really related to that. If you have any questions about any of the items, if you looked at it, I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Is that it? Okay, great, thanks.
Next up, we have the Leadership Innovation Team presentation. Again, to remind you as they get prepped and ready, leadership is one of the 5 pillars. This is the next kind of presentation of information in the series. So I don't know if anybody's going to come up. Sarah?
She's like,
Wait for Ashley to come on up.
I don't know where Alicia went.
Who is she? You just try to stay out, wasn't she?
Are they? That's right, let's in the back. I'll be in the Alicia went there. I'm good.
All right, so as you know, last month we started kind of the review of each pillar of our strategic plan for the year. And so each month, last month was wellness, this month is leadership, talking about the work of this first year in the strategic plan. So to start us off, we have another Zach Wells video that will be posted to social media tonight, but wanted you to see it first.
Go fast. Yeah. Oh, I have paper.
Well, you can come while the video's playing. That works. Okay.
Beechwood has leadership that's embedded in so much of what we do. We say every day we are leaders and we are learners. It's part of the Beechwood way.
At Beechwood, leadership is a pillar of what we do each and every day. And I think teaching kids to be leaders is about teaching them how do we influence others so that we have this culture of greatness and this ability to believe that we can do anything that we put our mind to.
At Beechwood, everyone in the building can be a leader, and it's a priority for the Tigers to do so.
So today, what we're going to talk about are values. Does anybody know what that means? What are values?
I'm really respectful, and I help people out. If they're hurt, I say, "Are you okay?" And if they're, I'll go get a teacher. Or if somebody fell, I'll go help them up. Leadership is not limited at all here. We really work with our students to be a leader individually. It doesn't necessarily have to be some big grand moment that defines them as a leader. Taking initiative and asking for other people's input, which is such an important role of a leader, just allows you to branch out and meet new people at the school and just help with the overall direction of the project or just in a group setting.
There are so many amazing leaders in this building. Are you committed to being the toughest people out there?
not only mentally, but physically.
Try to get as much as you can done and reach out to them and try to get your needs set.
Good morning, Tigers, and welcome to our second edition of BNA.
I think what we're learning is that we're tapping into a lot of those different leaders, and each person has their own special gifts.
Our Leadership Innovation Team is a group of staff members here at Beechwood, and we look at leadership as a pillar.
I think that's a really powerful part of our EDGE program is having community leaders in the building truly every day. And for even our young ones, our older students to be able to see, okay, leadership doesn't just look one way, so that each of our students can see themselves and what they could potentially be in the future.
One of the really cool events that we go to every year, leadership-wise, is the Anthony Munoz Leadership Conference. And we've had the opportunity to do some really cool things with that event because you come back and it's teaching them how do you put leadership into action? What's your practical application for that?
Along with my classmates, we created a mental health wellness day. After our guest speakers, we had breakout events like yoga, like mindful coloring, things like that. So we had to work with other partners as well who are willing to chaperone those breakout sessions.
Anyone can make an impact. Anyone can empower others. It's about helping our kids learn about their strengths, learn about their gifts, and how they can use those to impact others positively.
My name is Cash Martin, and leadership is a top priority at Beechwood.
Zach does a good job. Good kids, good staff. So you heard in the video there was a leadership innovation team this year, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but a few of our team members represented today. Ashley Ritchie, Gifted and Talented Coordinator, of course, Alicia Whitmer, Elementary Assistant Principal, Ashley Chaikin, 4th grade teacher, also on our team, and they'll talk about in a bit some other people who are on our team and work done this year. But first, I'm going to keep this for us and we'll do that so come back. To kind of just remember how we got here really quickly. First of all, even with the strategic plan, everything feeds from the Beechwood Way. I think it's really important to say these things aren't separate, these different initiatives. It always goes back to the Beechwood Way. Designing, teaching, and learning focused on students, of course, being number one, but also that number two, building resilient learners and leaders. So again, it all connects. From there, the strategic plan this summer, those 5 pillars, again, we're talking about leadership tonight. And in the strategic plan, there were 3 goals for leadership. I forgot to look at both, thank you. 3 goals for leadership. So you'll see there providing all students with instruction in leadership development. So not just opportunities, but how are we teaching them what it means to be a leader? How are we building those skills? Creating student voice and leadership opportunities for all students. That was a big one, not just those in NHS, not just those who are officers of clubs, but how do we provide leadership opportunities for all students? And then number 3, offer meaningful leadership development and growth opportunities for staff. And so we have 3 years to do all of this work, and there's some specific examples there. You've seen this before, but just a reminder of where we came from. And so looking at year 1, we decided to focus on staff and use kind of that staff group that's interested in leadership to then feed into the student leadership opportunities. So for year 1, we focused on staff leadership, and I'll turn it over to Alicia to talk about that.
So this is our innovation team, not just our 4, but one of the great things about the innovation team is any of the staff can sign up certified or classified. And so there are a few people missing from that picture of our awesome group. It's been so fun to get to learn together and then take that and apply it to what we do. So one of the first things we did was we looked at what are the staff leadership opportunities that already exist, whether it's something that has a formal title, whether you're a department chair, grade level team, or things that you're involved in. What's kind of our baseline from here? And we created our mid-year survey that went out to the community, looked at questions from that survey that we wanted to put on there both for staff and student leadership, knowing that that was something we wanted to focus on in year 2. And then we took the results from that and made some steps. Did you want to go through this one?
They've seen it.
Okay, that's what I figured. Looked at that data. It's on the leaderships portion of our site. And then we took that and we asked our group, what do you want to do for the rest of the year? And they really wanted to pour into themselves for a little bit as far as leadership, do some leadership instruction. So we mentioned that in the plan. We want to do specific instruction for students. Well, we need to do the same thing with our staff. We used our strategic plan for that, but then also took time to learn. And so we did things like StrengthsFinder. Michelle Stamper took her knowledge from her previous career in the business world and ran StrengthsFinder with our group, which was awesome, and went through a session together for that. Ashley and Sarah had gone to a training on Covey's 4 essential roles of leadership, and so they brought that. Our last meeting did some teaching on that, and then just building trust together as a group. We have people from both buildings coming together, and so kind of forming that bond, which is awesome because it's flowed into other things. We've been able to see some evidence of that trust that was built, which is great in such a short amount of time. We also looked at, as a group, and then us together as leading that group, what is staff leadership within Beechwood? So we talk a lot about our EDGE certified staff. These are staff members that have gone through a district creative certified process in EDGE, and they've taken on the role of being leaders. And then once you're certified, you also then lead other people through that certification. So it's dominoing to so many other things. Out of that has come Idea Lab 2.0, which I think most of us can agree is more than we could have imagined out of that space. It is awesome. There's been grant writing and then just huge partnerships that have come in through this EDGE certified process. We had listed 2 examples, the second grade change makers, which is an ongoing project right now. The panel had some portion in that video, so awesome. And then the Tiger Throwback Shop that you saw was a huge success and just came out of diving into what is EDGE and what does that mean here, and leadership, staff taking leadership on and allowing that to grow. We have a lot of staff that present at conferences. They attend conferences, learning days. We're very much a yes place. And if you want to step up, let's find a way to make that happen. Our English learners. So Tiffany Rudy has created this EL celebration night at the end of the year, which we just scheduled for the end of this year, as well as at the beginning of the year, a family night. These are things that are completely new this year. New clubs, we have a new Lego club that's coming on the elementary side that's completely staff initiated, coming to a site base and saying, hey, I want to do these things. And then Ethics Bowl, not just on the high school side as well, but we've brought that in on the elementary side, and what does that look like for first graders, which is mind-blowing. But the staff has really taken that on. We had our first Gifted and Talented family night here. We had a group of writing teachers that came to us and said, hey, we really want to tackle this in our classes. We want to go to this training. We want to have some time together during the day if you would allow that. And it's really poured into other people because they've taken that leadership. We had a staff wellness day. Lauren and Christy took that on, and staff were able to go on planning or lunch and hear from our benefits department. All of the things, healthcare places, better blends for lunch, which is always great. And then just an increase in collaboration between all of the buildings. If you get to see pictures of Brad Bentley going to pick up all the bikes today and deliver them to Guardian Angel. Earlier in the day, they were test riding them around the parking lot. And all of that started because our staff had an idea and wanted to bring it here.
Real quick on staff leadership too, a goal we've had for a while is for it not to just be, relying on a couple people or reliant on admin, but for the teachers, for the staff, anyone to feel empowered to step up, to get involved, to come with a new idea, where it's not, we've said for a long time, us going like, could you do this? But people coming to us and saying, can we do this? That is happening more than ever. These are just a few examples. We could be here all night talking about things that are happening by teachers and staff stepping up.
Just from the school year.
From the school year, correct.
These are just new things from this school year.
Yeah. And I think it shows too when people have those opportunities and learn more about their skills, their gifts. They're willing to step up and be ready to lead. And so, for example, even that group, that innovation team where we did some leadership learning together. From that, there was like text after that going around to the group where people would find a video or an article on leadership and share it out with others. And so I think people are craving that. It's more work, it's more time, but they're taking it on because they're finding it valuable, and that's only more investment in Beechwood. So really proud of the staff leadership, which was the focus of year one. Now, student leadership will be our focus for year two, and to tackle going back to our items here. We'll have a group, an innovation team next year to start tackling some of those student items. But we can never do a year without student focus as well. So even though it wasn't the main focus for the innovation team this year, there's still a ton of new things going on with student leadership this year that we couldn't go the evening without going over.
So these are just some examples from this school year, which is, I think, really important to note because we have done a lot of things in the past couple of years. But the first one is the Young Investors Society. That's a group of high school students who pitched to the foundation that they wanted some money to invest. And so they were given $25,000 and they're investing this money. They're working with a partner, Jim Eck, to figure out what funds it should go in, and they're paying attention to that, and they're communicating with staff. Michelle Stamper, who's on our leadership innovation team, is kind of guiding them through that process. So it's a really awesome thing to see them doing. We also have been working this year to develop a leadership curriculum in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and kind of having that build, and then giving them an opportunity to then, apply to, we're talking about a leadership certificate, GT leadership opportunities. So Nicole Dirks has been doing a 6th grade leadership group with students. We did, Amanda Claire's working on an 8th grade leadership unit with some of the Covey stuff that Sarah and I learned. So just a lot of really great things happening in that seminar classes with leadership. Then we also have our interns who are out in the community working, our peer mentors who are in school working with our students. So there's just really great collaboration between elementary and high school and those leadership opportunities. We also started broadcasting this year, which I'm sure you've seen some of those videos. It's been awesome. The 6th graders have taken that on the elementary side with Mrs. Raybuck working through that. And the broadcasting class on the high school side with Zach Wells and Stephanie Layton have been working. So that's been really cool to see our students taking ownership of that. We have our first ever student-led dance class for GT students on our new stage. A high school senior led the music, all of it, for a group of GT dance kids we have on the elementary side. So that was really awesome. And then we had our Edge Minor Rush, which was a really cool event we just hosted out in the atrium, where the high school students who are in those Edge Minors put on almost like a rush event so that the 7th and 8th graders could walk around and learn about all of the different minors. And we're kind of doing almost like a scavenger hunt as they were walking around to learn, which was a great way for them to get introduced to that and for the high school kids to, lead about what they're doing. We did lots of student panels this year. When Mr. Fletcher came to visit, we had a group of kids who talked to him about what we're doing at Beechwood, to the point that he still remembered one of our students when he met a Beechwood teacher a couple weeks ago. I remember when I was there. So that's really cool. Our students are making impressions on the people that they're working with and talking to. And then we also have high school students. They were in the video leading a PD session for teachers who are part of Ed Rising. So they were like, what do teachers need? And so they led an after-school PD for teachers. And then we have a current group leading PD through Mu Alpha Theta. They're doing like a math book workshop type thing for students and staff. So just lots of really great examples of students leading before we ever really started to focus on that piece. It's pretty cool.
So leading students, leading staff, very important. But then we went to kind of reflect too on how we're leading as a district. Always Beechwood has a good reputation, but are we using that to lead within the region, lead within the state? And so just wanted to go over a couple of those items too. This is something to even narrow down. We were kind of going through and like, geez, there could be a lot. What are we going to really kind of qualify to put on here? So these are kind of some new major regional, state, or national items since July 1st. So as you all know, it was on the board biannual report too, the Aurora Institute case study, but to be featured in a national case study like that is definitely leading. KDE Spotlight School, Beechwood High School, chosen as a KDE Spotlight School. Not many were, and so to have that and be chosen as a leader for others to visit is pretty great. Edge featured in the news, so Local 12 did a video. They're also coming to the Edge Showcase night on the 19th, as well as the Lake Northern Kentucky article. We were selected to present at the Learning Forward Conference, at least since I've been here 9 years. That's the first time we've been selected to present at a national conference. So that's pretty wonderful to get to share our story on that stage, learn from others, but also get to share Beechwood's story. We've had 13 districts or groups visit Beechwood this year. And sure, we have the new building, which some, they're amazed by when they come. But also some come for the math program just a couple weeks ago. Some come because they've heard about how we're balancing academics and edge and they didn't even know about the new building. So for that many to come and want to see what Beechwood is doing and want to replicate that is really impressive. And we always learn from any group that we talk with as well. So Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania had people come. Then we kind of looked at, okay, what about in the region or the state? Do we have people leading who are from Beechwood? And so Justin's been nominated, as you all know, for the NKCS, the co-op board president. I do our assessment coordinator regional group. I'm the lead for that. And then I was just elected to the Kentucky Association of Assessment Coordinators board. Ashley is the NCAGE president. That's the gifted group in the region. Stephanie has presented to the College and Career Network group, and she's also the lead for the Talent Pipeline Day for Leadership Northern Kentucky. Lauren is organizing two things called roundtables, where we would host and other teachers from the region would come here and collaborate to learn from one another. But she's the one working with the region to lead that for our MSD, special education teachers, and then our English learners. Often in districts, they're the only people or very few people in that district doing those roles, and so providing an opportunity for them to come and learn together. But these are all things that Beechwood doesn't have to do. These are opportunities for us to lead. And so as you see, it's not one or two people. We have a lot of people leading. And then, of course, the innovation teams, that's something else that doesn't happen everywhere. Whereas you said before, any staff, not just teachers, not just admin, can come to the table and be part of the work in setting goals and developing action steps for how we can improve. So super proud of all the leadership that's gone on this year. And it's only March. This sounds like a lot of positive, which it is. But I also want to say this is a group, this is a staff that is kind of always hungry, never satisfied, but I mean that positively, never satisfied, where they're always looking at how can we get better. We even have people on our team talking about like 1% better every day. So it's really good, but I don't think we ever feel like we've arrived. It's always how can we get better. And so we will continue this work and continue to get better. Ashley, you want to share anything from a teacher perspective on the team?
I think, no, I'm good.
I would like you to lead, would you?
So from my end, being A on the team is nice. It makes me feel valued. It makes me feel like leadership is important here. And so having that team to support and to talk through, and we take the time, like I think that we're not rushed through these meetings that we've had. And that's been really helpful too, because usually when you have it after school, you're like, oh my God, I want to leave. But this has been something that is obviously valued because we take the time to work through the things and we talk, and everybody's opinion matters, and we can agree or we can disagree, and it's just a nice way to work through learning about leadership, how to implement leadership. And so I appreciate it very much. And then just from being in the classroom, it's helping me reach out to other teachers plus the kids. So if I can develop more as a leader, then I can make that evident in my students too. So I can pull that out of them as well. So I think it's developing me, helping teachers be leaders, and also in my classroom as well with the kids. Mm-hmm. So it's really good work, and I do appreciate the time. So I think that's all I got. But I do appreciate it.
That was beautiful. We didn't prep that. That was all.
That's right, off the cuff. But I do mean that. So thanks for that. And so that actually, I do mean that a lot.
We're big about leadership's not a title. We want our kids to know that too. It's not about a title. It's not about a position. Everybody has ideas to bring to the table. Questions?
I don't have a question, but that's a marvelous presentation. I mean, I really enjoyed it. That's really great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I will follow with, talk about, Ashley kind of hit upon it a little bit. Leadership has trust embedded into it. Like we could trust our people to do whatever they want. Just trust. Can I do this? Can I try this? Whether it be students or teachers. But that's only half of it. you can trust people, which we do. Anybody walks in any door and says, can I try this? We encourage them to do so. But it's not just that. The other half of that is, what are we trusting them to do and at what level? So that trust comes with a very big price tag of high expectations of excellence. So it's not like just try anything. No, if you're going to try something, you're going to try this and you're going to do it the best it could possibly be at Beechwood. I think those two things and that tone, as Ashley had referenced, starts somewhere. And it starts with Sarah, that innovation team, cabinet, the district level that we all trust each other to do a really good job, and we hold each other to high expectations. Guess what? Teachers see them. And they see, okay, when I want to try something, I know I got to do it really good because they're going to do it really well. And they trust me to do it. Those two things in combination were really powerful. And eventually all that, where do we all want that to bleed down to? Just as Ashley said, to kids. We want kids to see us trust each other and try new things and to lead so that they feel confident to do the same thing. But they can't see it if our teachers don't feel it. And our teachers can't see it if our cabinet doesn't feel it. So it's really intentional, I think the work we've done as a group of 12 or 13 people this year, starting this summer, to have a baseline level of trust, baseline level of high expectations. From there, you see something, a presentation like this. So it's been really cool to see. And so I thank that work of the innovation team and what they've done. So awesome.
Incredible.
All right, next up, we have some items from myself. Go through. Budget committee meets tomorrow. It's the second meeting for the budget committee that was appointed tomorrow at 1:30 with their follow-up meeting. Construction update, baseball press box and bleachers are complete. They're starting the work for the softball this week to finish up the concrete over there. Baseball still has some code work to do to get completely signed off, but they were able to be signed off to get their weekend tournament in. And I will recognize the group of Codell, Toadvine, Brielmeyer to have that done 21 days ahead of schedule. Like, that place was open with fans in the bleachers 21 days before it was supposed to be open and ready to roll. A couple other items they have to complete, but that's awesome. With the snow, with the rain, to still get that done, the urgency they had, that's pretty awesome. So public compliments to those three. Other construction items. I think they'll start demo on the Kroger shed next week at some point, where they'll bring in and start to bring in up there as well, or the lights for the tennis courts should start in the next week or two. They're going to come in over spring break once the Kroger shed is down, and having those lights come in over spring break will allow that crane to come in and set the lights without morning traffic, afternoon traffic, parking up there for kids. So it'll be clear up there for them to do that work. Pretty much it. Everything else is just starting to get underway. But yeah,
That's
so
impressive though.
it is. It's gonna be nice.
I go down there every day. It's really.
Yeah, I mean they work hard. Brielmeyer has been really great. Toadvine has been really great. Very responsive. Those are the two primary contractors right now because it's press box, bleachers, and just general contract work. Delta has been great with getting stuff ready for Toadvine. So really good coordination from the start. Next up on the list, Frankfurt. Did a visit to Frankfurt with Dr. Webb and Brian Robinson from Fort Thomas. Some SEEK funding has increased just a little bit, but nothing dramatic. The House Bill 289 around tuition has subsided in regards to the changes that would have impacted us. House Bill number 1 is an interesting one. House Bill 1 is around a $1,700 tax credit that any family, if they were to donate to a scholarship granting organization, that donation could then be a tax write-off for them. what impact does that do to all schools, private schools, any school? We'll see how that develops over the next year and a half, because that won't go into effect until 2027. But that'll be interesting with the details and the regulations that come with it, which they have not written the regs for it yet. It's only the passing of the bill. So was able to visit with 9 different legislators down there, and just to build a relationship. No asks from a Beechwood end, more of what can Beechwood do for you, and just to build relationships with those legislators. So a good visit down there. Something for everyone. I mean, this is more of a district thing, but Huddle. We're switching from EventLink on ticketing to Huddle. It's easy. You show up for an event, you have to pay for tickets. You scan the QR code, and it goes through Huddle instead of EventLink. So nothing major, just a small change on that. Both buildings received their impact data back. They've reviewed the impact data with their staff. They've done a follow-up survey with their staff on the impact survey. That's the working condition survey. And from that follow-up survey to dive a little deeper, then they're creating an action plan to say, all right, here's what we're going to do with that information. Both buildings have done that work. Board 2x2, Brad came over on the 27th and was able to walk the building. He got a good walkthrough because I had, I think, construction, some type of meeting, and he was able to walk around with Sarah. He preferred that, I think. But he was able to walk through. Great recap. The next one is March 25th. It's a Wednesday. If anybody's interested, let me know. Excellence in Education. It's Golden Apple with Amy Taphouse, received the Golden Apple Award, and Solomon Pangello received the CTE Award. We're waiting on the St. E internship awards. Once we get those, then we'll send that out to everyone. Talking with Swim Club, I'm going to attend their next board meeting to talk about the potential for us to be able to use Swim Club with daily overflow parking. They allow us to use event parking right now. We're going to see if they can open it up for next school year for a handful of our kids that might want to park there. Other than that, there's accolades. A lot has happened since the February board meeting. The high school has run the scheduling nights and the college nights and all those great events around preparing kids for next school year. The really cool thing with Ms. Gasser's grant that she wrote that we approved a little while ago, that grant brought in bikes. The kids bought the bikes. Those bikes were put together. They were just delivered today to DCCH. So all those kiddos over at DCCH received a new bike today and a helmet. Compliments of Brad. He helped us out with the helmets. But just a really great project, a great collaboration between our 6th graders and DCCH with Brad Bentley over there. Just another example of an EDGE challenge, the results that it provides our community. Bella Sloan, high schooler, won the state competition for Poetry Out Loud. She's now competing at the national level in Washington, D.C. Congrats to 4 members with Beechwood ties to the Northern Kentucky Hall of Fame. Brandon Slusher, who's our assistant AD, Chris Curley, who helps coach, Rob Hart, who's the dad of Ross Hart, and a former basketball coach, Eric Getz, that got a lot of wins here. Those 4 were inducted into the Hall of Fame, North Kentucky Athletic Hall of Fame, which is pretty cool. A lot of Beechwood. It's like a Beechwood theme for that one. Legacy magazine went out. Thanks to Carol Byrne. Good job putting that together. And then the board biannual report, I believe, started to go out Friday. So it should have been delivered or showed up on doorsteps Friday, if not today. So that board biannual report is out. Hopefully you get to read that. KSBA occurred. The board was able to go down to Louisville to attend kind of a continued education, continued learning, getting their credits that they need to earn each year at that conference. FBLA, run by Michelle Stamper, had multiple first place finishes and 2 students who qualified to compete at the state level. Bear with me. This is just in the past month, so this is the whole year. 9th grade our varsity girls basketball won the 9th region, the entire region sportsmanship award. Shrek the Musical went off without a hitch. I think the only issue might have been like a piece of a curtain kind of dropped a little bit, but that was it. So kudos to Amanda Borchers, Taylor Ross, all the kiddos, all the people that go in to do the fundraising and everything, to the people who made sure that from Alan to Tim and Ryan and maintenance and everybody that made sure that the lights worked. The HVAC was good. The sound system was good. There's a lot that goes in to make sure the first time you use a space like that, with that many things that could go wrong, and hardly anything went wrong. That's pretty impressive, and that's a testament to them planning, prepping, double, triple checking everything to make sure it was good. So thank you for them. Corbin visited. We talked about, Sarah mentioned the visits. Corbin was here to visit to learn about some of our curriculum and how we use that. Burrell, Pennsylvania is coming in next month or so in April to just see our district as a whole. Partnerships between Dries and Clementine and Xavier University and the Change Makers with Hannah Burns. Just all those partners, they're constantly in our building. Just, it's great to see. Elementary academic team won the whole region. That's as far as you can go. The biggest championship you can get in elementary academic team. Toby Parton and his kiddos won that this past weekend. Not this Saturday, but the Saturday before, I believe. State track, boys indoor, wins the team event for the first time ever. 7 golds or 7 first place finishes among both boys and girls. I feel like Fryman won like 23 first places. But pretty cool to see. For indoor track, we'll have them come next month. We'll have Bella Sloan, when she's done competing for the national level, come in. We'll recognize her. So we'll get some of these folks in here to recognize. Middle school forensics had 5 kiddos place in the state finals. Rachel Sharp earned her national board certification. Anna Hatridge with Ed Rising, she won first place in the state competition. And so that was really cool. So that was this last week. So a lot of great things, a lot of great accolades, a lot of great people doing great stuff. There's more than that, but those are kind of the top of the list stuff. So very excited about March. Can't wait to see, or excited about February. Can't wait to see what March holds for everyone. That's all I got in regards to my report.
That's it?
That's it.
That is it.
That's 1 month.
Nothing else? Okay, well, we can take a motion to make the agenda part of the official board minutes.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Mrs. Berger, Mr. Burns,
Yes.
Mr. Hook, Mrs. Sweet.
Yes,
And I make the motion.
you know what's happening.
Yes.
Make the motion to adjourn.
I just made the motion.
Yes,
Good.
thank you. Does everyone agree with that?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
It's her email. You know, I probably can find it somewhere.